All right, this week Camera Talk. Are we going anywhere? Are you sure? I don't think so. Well, we're going to dinner later, but besides that. No, actually what we're going to do, instead of looking at a lens, I'm going to look at an aperture. A single aperture? Yeah, actually. Go look at a single aperture. It is the 0.95. A couple weeks ago we did 1.2. But now we're looking at my 0.95s. Got a couple of them, and actually I used to play around with the Leica Noctilux as well. So
Get the fuck out of here.
we'll throw a little bit of that in there. But anyway, we got 50 millimeter 0.95. Are they any good? Yeah, they're pretty good. Well, they're kind of a
What you talking about, doctor?
one-hit wonder. There we go. So let's find out together how good they are. What are you doing? It's not nap time. What we're going to do is take a look at my 50 millimeter 0.95, my TT Artisans 50 millimeter 0.95. No, this is a Canon, I forgot to mention that. And of course, we're going to throw in a little Noctilux. So get yourself something to eat or drink, get yourself comfortable.
Legend!
And let's get it on.
Daddy, I like you.
I love you too.
Here I am, Vietnam. Rain is always coming down.
This is Camera Talk with Dr. Scott and my little co-host Dylan. That's right, Dylan and I back for another week of Camera Talk. This week, we're looking at my 50 millimeter 0.95s. Did you hear that? Plural. That's right, got a couple of them. And we're gonna look at the differences and the similarities between them and figure out, are they worth it? Of course, everybody, well, I can't say everybody, can't speak for everyone, can I? Not everyone lusts after them, but many people do. They're like, wow, 0.95, that's cool. One of the limiting factors on that, of course, is the price tag on many of them. But that's another thing that we're going to talk about as well. So, which ones do I have? Why don't you move me on off to that side? Which ones do I have, Dylan?
Don't care.
So, I've got two of them. I have a TT Artisans 50 millimeter 0.95, and I have a Canon 50 millimeter 0.95, otherwise known as the Dream Lens.
I have a dream.
You ever had a dream? Yeah, I know you have. You woke up a few times in the middle of the night. Daddy. Well, that's actually a nightmare, but still, it's a dream. So anyway, we're going to look at the Dream Lens, and we're going to look at my TT Artisans 50 millimeter 0.95. But I also used to play around with a Leica Noctilux
Get the fuck out of here.
50095 as well. I didn't own that one, and for many reasons we'll get into in a minute. But I have a friend here in Vietnam who does have one. Actually, he's got several of them, but I borrowed one for a while and used it. And it was fun. It was cool. But I wouldn't pay the price tag, especially for a brand new one.
Cheap bastard.
And we'll go through that in a little bit anyway. So, what are we talking about between these three? Well, I don't really want to do a head-to-head comparison on them because they really are quite similar. Now, characteristically, once you see the results of some side-by-side stuff with them, you would notice that the perhaps the TT Artisans and the Noctilux are a little more similar to each other because of their age. You know, the TT Artisans was built in 2019, or designed in 2019, and launched in that year. And the Leica Noctilux, the current version of it anyway, was from 2008. So even though that's not exactly as new as the TT Artisans, but still it's within this century anyway. Versus the Canon Dream lens, which was produced and launched in 1961. That was before Daddy was even born. That's right. So
What? No.
a long time ago. But yet it's a 50 millimeter 0.95. It's still a pretty cool lens. But you can see again, because of the technologies of the day and everything else, it does render different quality images. So that's what we'll be taking a look at anyway. So let's kind of compare them as far as like things like their build quality anyway. Now we'll start off with the TT Artisans that I have here. It's kind of the most complex out of the three, because it has eight groups, 11 elements in 8 groups, and its close focus is 70 centimeters, which is ideal for a rangefinder. So it's on my M10 here. It has 14 aperture blades, which is the most out of the 3, and it is 689 grams. So it's a bit heavy. It's a bit heavy, like Dylan heavy. Dylan will be 4 years old next month, in a month from today almost. This is today anyway. Wow, it's on the April 15th. He'll be a month old, or a month old. He'll be 4 years old, and he's already bucking like 21 kilos or so, compared to the other kids in his class who are, some 5, 6, 7, even 10 kilos less than him. Whew. So he's a heavy little muscle bound boy. So what does that mean though? The heavier the lens is, the less likely that you'll be wanting to walk around with that thing all day strapped around your neck. Anyhow, so that's the build of that. The Canon, my Canon Dream lens here, is a little less complex. As no, Dylan, no. I can sit over there and block the way. I know you want everybody on YouTube to look at you and not Daddy, right?
I'm a fucking artist. I'm sensitive as shit.
Anyway, the Dream lens itself is 7 elements in 5 groups, so it's much smaller design than the Artisans, TT Artisans. Its close focus is a meter, which may seem like, oh my god, a meter. Remember 1961, that was pretty common for most lenses. That was what it was, and in those days, rangefinders still rocked the world, so a meter was pretty common for that day. So anyway, nothing unusual there. It has 10 aperture blades, so again, looks nicer than 6, that's for sure, which many other lenses had of the day. And it's a lot lighter than the Artisans. It's 605 grams, so it's still weighty, and that's because of the fact that it's full of glass and it's all metal. Like most of these rangefinder lenses and whatnot, they're all metal construction and nicely built. I mean, again, this is a lot older than I am. Well, not a lot older, but it's older than I am.
At least we're not fucking idiots.
And it's still very smooth. The aperture clicks. It's a clicked aperture. Again, it's for something that old, it still operates like it was new. Very nice. Now the Leica, to which I don't have here, the Noctilux, if you're going to compare those two to it, is similar to the Canon, more similar to the Canon than it is to the TT Artisans. It just has one more element, so it's 8 elements in 5 groups. Its close focus is also a meter, nothing different. Only has 1 more aperture blade, so it has 11 aperture blades, and is only 5 grams heavier. So it's 5 grams heavier. No, it's 95 grams heavier. It's basically like 10 grams heavier than the TT Artisan, so it's roughly 700 grams. So it's even more of a whopping monster to hang on to.
That's what she said.
But one of the other biggest differences between the 3 is the price tags attached to these things. Now, the oldest one, the Canon, when it came out in 1961, it was $500. That may sound like, wow, that's super cheap. But remember, 1961, $500 was not $500 back then. But today, this thing could go anywhere from $2,000 to $4,000, you know, depending on where you can pick it up. So it's not cheap either. It's because of demand, obviously, for this thing. It is the Dream Lens, another sought-after lens. The Noctilux, buying that sucker brand new, when it came out 2008, $12,795, almost $13,000.
Oh, get the fuck out of here.
You could buy a fairly decent used car for that. Now you can buy them used nowadays, you know, about $8,000 or so, maybe even $7,000 if you're lucky to find them for that. But that's still the price. That's higher than the price of a lot of brand new, even Leica lenses. Brand new ones are not that expensive. So anyway, so the Noctilux holds its price, that's for sure. Very pricey, almost $13,000. Now the TT Artisans, brand new is like when it came out in 2019 was $755. $755. Well, that's not bad, huh?
Whatever.
Huh? That's not bad. And you can pick them up brand new today. Here we are, 2024, for about $700. So the price has gone down a little, but as usual, like modesty photography, you know, I like to always say, you know, save some money, get things used, right? Now, getting the TT Artisans used, I paid roughly about $300 for mine. And not only was it used, but it was also customized a little. The person who had it filled in the meter range on the range finding or zone focusing meter range on here. He colored those in red and whatnot. So it's because they're black. They're all black to start out with, but he had them filled in red, and that's nice too. It's a customized version for only $300. That's not bad, huh?
Whoop-de-doo.
Bad at all. So, you know, why do people want a 50 millimeter 0.95?
Don't call me stupid.
Oh, right! To call you stupid would be an insult to stupid people!
Besides the fact you just want one, and the bragging rights of, ooh, look at my lens. My lens is cooler than your lens, right? You have a cooler lens than Daddy, eh? Besides that, some of the pros, there's pros and cons obviously to everything. The 0.95 is a pro, right? People want them. So that's one of the pros right there. Now they have similar qualities. I mean, the three of these things have similar results of things. One is the 3D pop, right? If you get it just right, your subject jumps out of the photo at you. You know, it's subject separation, you know, between whatever you're photographing and the background is what it's all about. Now you could stop these things down and do landscape and everything else, but there are far better lenses for that at nowhere near that price. So if you're thinking of a landscape lens, what are you doing thinking of 0.95, right? So basically it's about people, you know, portraiture or close live action street photography, or maybe concert photography, or just stuff around indoors. But basically, what I would say is what I tend to use them for. If it's daytime, I tend to go with other lenses. As you know, behind me here, I have 100 of them, so many to choose from of what I want to use in my daytime photography. But it's at nighttime where these babies really shine. And it's hard to shine at nighttime, isn't it? But light collecting is what it's all about. 0.95 sucks the light in there.
It actually really, really sucks.
I mean, just look at the Leica Noctilux 50 f1, you know, which it rocked the world for the longest time, right? Everybody was like, ooh, it's the f1. And then Peter Carbra, you know, developed the 0.95. But just from f1 to 0.95 is 11% difference in light gathering capabilities. And that's where I think these things really shine, is at nighttime, being able to get low light situations without having to raise ISO and whatever and end up with grainy shots and blah, 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 blah. So I think that's a big pro. The other one is because of that shallow depth of field, and of course the closer you are to your subject and whatnot, the background tends to really show its effect, which is why the 70 centimeter one versus 1 meter also plays into that as well. And you know, the bokeh is going to be bokeh-licious, as they say. So 1 to 3 meter distance is kind of the sweet spot. Longer range stuff tends to get a little messy, right? Ew! Yeah, can get a little messy. So the other pro too is generally its area of sharpness is right in the center, and that leads us to our cons, the downside of this focal length aperture range here. The corners tend to suck.
They suck. They just suck.
I mean, the center nice and sharp, but then they fall out to the corners, and you lose everything at that point. Also in the corners shows vignetting. You know, all these things tend to vignette, and you got to stop down to 1.4, 2-ish in range to get rid of that. Oh, hang on.
Mommy.
Mommy's calling. Yeah, let's time out for a second.
Fat woman, my ass!
Hello.
Mommy.
Hello. We're doing a camera talk, so hurry up and talk. Okay. All right. Bye.
Hey, Mommy.
All right. Mommy's coming home. Yeah. She's out getting a hair wash and a massage.
Oh, yes.
Oh, nice to be Mommy, huh? Spoiled rotten she is. So hold on. Wait. Mommy's not home yet.
Massa.
Yeah. So besides the corner sucking, and it has vignetting, flaring also tends to be an issue.
Deal with it. Okay, and you're welcome.
Well, not that kind of flaring, but the flaring where the sun hits it and it makes all these wild shadows and colored blobs off here and there. Coma is the other one. No, the other kind of coma where, you know, lights in the distance at nighttime tend to grow bat wings and all these other types of things. Distortion. No, the other kind of distortion. Where things either pincushion or they barrel distort or they warp here and there. Wavy distortion tends to be something. What are you singing about, mister? They're big, they're heavy, they have a long focus throw. You know? And they're definitely not a walk-around lens anyway. Hey, no singing, man. You get your own YouTube channel if you want to sing for people. You could be the next little Justin Bieber head. Yeah. So, anyway, let me get a shot of, actually I'm not going to do it on my Leica. I'm going to use my Sony for this one because it's just got better magnifier, so I can really zip in, because that's what happens with these is when they become that shallow a depth of field, you really want to, I'm putting it on an NEX adapter, like a LM to NEX. Yeah, I found it. Thanks for your help, buddy. It's, you know, you really need to get that critical focus, so you need to get in nice and tight. So what I normally do, take a shot of my Canon M50. The lens, the kit lens, the 15 to 45 EFM lens. I try to get the writing, how sharp I can get the writing on the barrel of the lens. Oh, hold on. It's telling me to reinsert my my memory card.
Dylan.
No, nothing to do with Dylan. All right, so let me zip in. All right, buddy, what do you think? Let's find where it's nice and, ooh, that looks pretty sharp right there, right? Right? All right, let's do it. 1, 2, 3. All right, so that's 0.95. Let's do 2.8 just to show if there's any difference in that. All right, let's zip in a little closer. And a slight focus shift there, right? Ready? 1, 2, 3. All right,
Dylan.
that was that.
Dylan.
No, not Dylan yet. All right, so let's take that off. So that was the,
Dylan.
no, it wasn't Dylan. That was the TT Artisan. We'll do Dylan in a sec. We'll put Dylan in there in a second. Hold on. Yeah. We'll get Dylan in there. Pictures of Dylan. See, look at him. He's so anxious. Where's my pictures? Where's my pictures? Don't you know I'm the star of the show?
I'm the dude.
Where's my red dot? Link that on here. Yeah. So here is, that's 0.95. All right, let's see if we get this just as good as we did with the TT Artisan. All right, so this is the Canon Dream lens. Let's see how sharp we get that one. All right, ready? That looks good right there. 1, 2, 3. And let's stop it down. 2.8, so we have a fair comparison. All right, 0 focus shift at all. Look at that, right on the money. 1, 2, 3. All right, so that was that.
Dylan.
Yeah, we'll get Dylan in there. So, as I said, we'll have. Now as I said, I don't have the Noctilux with me, but I'll show you pictures that I took with the Noctilux of Dylan. But let's do some Dylan. So this is TT Artisan Dylan at 0.95. All right, what do you think you look like there? Good, huh? Yes, Dylan. Wait a second. How about Dylan at 0.95 with the Canon Dream lens? Good. And this was Dylan with the Noctilux 0.95. Of course, this was like a year ago, but so still Dylan though. So this was Dylan, the Noctilux 0.95. Now I want to do a little plug for our photo editing software that we use. And who do we use? I use Luminar, Luminar Neo. Now Luminar Neo is the latest, greatest rendition. It was a mix of Luminar 4 and Luminar AI. And they came up with Luminar Neo. It's pretty cool. It's full of bells and whistles, all kinds of AI. You know, it has spot dust removal, so it can get rid of those unruly spots and dust that can get into your sensor and show up on your photos, and you have to go and erase them all and everything else. No fun at all, right? So it takes care of those. So let's say you know, and it can analyze your photo and obviously remove stuff that doesn't belong there. So it can tell the difference between what should be in your photo and what shouldn't. And so let's say you've got a flock of birds, a flock of seagulls. No, the other kind, the real kind. And then there's spots on your sensor. It can recognize the seagulls and remove the spots. Pretty cool. It has background removal. It has power line removal for ugly, fugly power lines. Instead of brushing them out, it can get them all in one foul swoop. Boop, done. Scenery lighting. You name it, it has all kinds of stuff. I'm not going to go through them all. But anyway, and the most economical, or the most reason to...
English, motherfucker! do you speak it?
Biggest reason to actually get one of these things is the fact that it's economical, right? If you click on the link in the description below, it'll take you to Luminar or to Skylum, and if you buy it, it'll deduct $10 off of your purchase. And who doesn't want to save $10, right? Yeah, you're going to do it with your $10. Are you gonna give it to Daddy? You're gonna give it to Mommy? What's that? Oh, yeah, we'll show. Dylan wants to do pictures. Yeah, we'll do your pictures in a second. All right, so get yourself a copy of Luminar, and what else? What else can we tell you? Well, how about you help support our channel, right? We need support. So how about you subscribe? That's right. How about this hand? Subscribe. And Dylan's 2 hands and my 2 hands. All right, my 2 hands. Dylan's being a little... Subscribe. That's right. And what else does YouTube like besides subscribers? They like the thumbs up, right? So how about a little taste of the thumbs up girls? Thumbs up. Do 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 do. Thumbs up. All right. So other than that, we are Modesty Photography, right? Is Mommy home? I think so. So anyway, so who am I? I'm Dr. Scott. This is Dylan.
Here's Johnny.
And together we are all Modesty Photography. We're here to talk about tips and tricks about photography, lenses, camera systems, all these different kinds of things. So, yeah, so come on back next week and we'll do it all again, right? Thank you for dropping by. Thank you for listening. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you for putting up with our professional presentation. Thank you for just being you. All right. Should they come back next week?
Mommy.
Should they come back next week?
Mommy.
Yes, I know. I know Mommy's here. Should they come back next week? Oh, you're leaving? All right. Bye-bye.
Well, fuck you.
Come on back next week. So this was Camera Talk with Dr. Scott and formerly Dylan, who decided to leave the room to go see Mommy.
Giant twerp, scumbag, fuckface, dickhead, asshole.
So we'll see you all next week. Have a nice week. Have a nice weekend. Thanks for dropping by, and we'll see you in the next video. See ya.
Here I am, Vietnam. Rain is always